Welcome to the Pot.Live Insider. I am your host, Luke Rowan, and I will be your guide as we dig in together and learn about what's going on in the cannabis industry. We are going to have some fun here as we learn about the business of cannabis, the science, the culture, where it has come from, and where it's going. I'm going to wade out into the waters and scoop up bucketfuls of information and bring it back here to break it down with you and take you along with me as I learn. If you want bite-sized information about cannabis on a variety of topics so you can impress your coworkers or the stranger sitting a bit too close to you on the bus, then the Pot.Live Insider episodes are for you. Let's get this thing started. Let's go inside. Welcome to the Pot.Live Insider. I am Luke Rowan and I am your host. And today we are going inside the cannabis industry on how property landlords can appeal to cannabis renters and businesses. Let's have a look. It's crazy to say weed-driven economy, but for the real estate industry, cannabis has had some crazy impact on how people are buying and renting and even selling their properties. For starters, there is a definitive uptick in demand for warehouses in the places that have legalized cannabis. In fact, a recent study found that there's a 34% increase in demand for those types of properties. Roughly 25% increase in demand for storefronts and 20% increase for land near those areas. So why would this be? Well, the cannabis industry requires those three things to effectively run its operations. Number one, the places to grow, which are the land and warehouses. They need places to process, which are warehouses, and places to sell, the storefronts. For realtors who are living in cannabis-friendly states, or soon-to-be cannabis-friendly states, it might be time to start looking into these options. So what about residential properties? When it comes to residential properties, some realtors believe it's negatively affecting prices, while others say it's positively impacting them. Most of the naysayers are ideologically opposed to cannabis, and thus they perceive the decline in property value simply by approximation to the cannabis business. Those who are ideologically in favor of cannabis see this as an increase in property values. So in terms of residential areas, it depends on where you lean. What about the side effects of legalization? One real concern for property owners, especially in the rental space, relate to damages to the property due to cannabis growing. And this is something that landowners should consider. Many landlords will simply ban cannabis from being grown on their properties. While they are totally within their rights to do so, the problem comes with enforcing your ban. A landlord does not have legal rights to come onto the property if it is being rented, meaning that enforcing cannabis bans is impossible. Furthermore, a ban would mean that growers would have to quote-unquote hide and create special circumstances in order to ensure that they don't get caught. This could mean that they need to modify the property, meaning unsanctioned destruction. However, what would happen if a landlord decided to go pro-cannabis? Will pro-cannabis rentals be a new thing? While this would certainly be a risk under current federal law, the future of creating cannabis-friendly rentals is something that you should not dismiss without analyzing the idea. For instance, many landlords are facing property damage due to the unsanctioned growing of cannabis. Amateurs who aren't savvy in setting up irrigation, lighting, controlling humidity levels, etc., can lead to making modifications that could result in massive destructions, such as house fires. But what if you as the landlord contemplated that? What if a legal grow room is included into the property? How much would a tenant be willing to pay to have a pre-made grow room in their rental? A few $100s more? Maybe a few $1,000s more? As a landlord, you have the ability to modify your property and create standards. If you know that there is a big chance that someone in a legal cannabis state will exercise the right to grow cannabis at home, Why not create the conditions so that you can reduce the impact of the grow on the site? With proper installation, lights, water, etc., you can ensure that there will be minimal damage to the property because you have set it up, and most likely with a professional. All of the wires would be properly grounded, all the fixtures installed correctly. All the tenant would need to buy is their lights and nutrients and soil and utilize the space. In fact, one could argue that you could simply divide the total cost of the modification and divide it by 12, which would give you an average monthly increase to the rent for anyone interested in growing at home. But what if they don't grow? If they don't grow, then it's no loss. But if they do, you could be reducing the negative impact of amateurs significantly. If they don't grow cannabis, the space could easily be converted into indoor greenhouse where you could grow food and so forth. In fact, simply adding a space where folks have the ability to grow things will increase the value of your property. So where to be careful? Of course, you need to act in accordance with the laws that are in place on where you live, whether it's in Canada or the United States. If you were to jump the gun on this and be too ahead of the legal curve, you could certainly end up in a lot of hot water. But nonetheless, for those of you who have the legal ability to do so, and for those who are savvy enough to prepare grow rooms, might have an edge when it comes to cannabis real estate. This is another interesting new area that cannabis has carved out, creating a whole new opportunity in real estate. This information was harvested from an article on thepot.com, and as usual, the link will be in the show notes so you can dive in further. That is it for me, and I will talk to you next time on the Pot.Live Insider.
If you are into the recreational side of the cannabis industry, yes, stoners, I'm talking to you, then thepot.com is the online and mobile destination for you. That's right, THEPOT.com, thepot.com. Where else can you find the exclusive Pot Mate of the Month? Take a pot quiz and win prizes. Scroll through hilarious memes and jokes and check out the latest podcasts, news, and trends, all while having your own profile and voice in the Pot.com forum. Visit thepot.com today and get lit.